I'm so happy to be back. Do you think that we would be friends if we were not siblings? Can't you be more like your sister? Hi. I know, and you don't need to say anything. I have been away for so long. I think you should just start telling me, welcome back in the comment section. I've been away for about 8 months now, and it just started all of a sudden. It was just supposed to be maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, and that became 8 months. I have lots of videos that I am yet to post. I have some that I've just decided I'm not going to post anymore. And there are some of them I'm like, okay, maybe I should just refilm them. And yeah, but I don't want to bore you guys with why I've been away. Maybe that would come in another video. But today, I just want to go straight into business. Let's just hit the ground running. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Itwa. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. If you're new here, please take a seat. And if you're already a part of the family, like I always say, I do not take your support for granted. Today, we are going to be talking about parenting tips that I learned from my parents that I'm going to be passing on to my own children, or should I say my daughter, because I have one. Yeah, I got this idea from a friend, Rarest Ray, told that I was going to make this video, and I'm sure that was last year, but I've already said I don't want to bore you guys with a lot of talk. That is going to come in another video. So we go on in this video. If there is anyone that resonates with you, please let me know. And if there are any other tips that you are currently using that you got from your parents, please also let me know in the comment section. I'm so happy to be back. So the first one is the love of God. There's a line that my dad usually says when he prays, and it goes like, I'm paraphrasing now. It says, like, God is our source. We don't have any other person to look up to except him. And that has guided me for all of my life's journey. God has always been my source. He's the one I hold on to. He's the one I look up to when things are difficult, when things are going smoothly. And that is something that I want to pass on to my child. To always hold on to God, to always look up to God. The love of God is the most important thing. You read books, you hear people talk that there's a vacuum, there's a hole inside of us that only God can fill. And I want my daughter to always know that wherever she may go, whatever she may be doing, the love of God is uttermost. The love of God is the most important. And that's one of the tips that I am going to be sharing with my children. My mom will always say, have you prayed about it? Have you prayed about it? It's always like, yeah, I know you're having issues, turn to prayer. My mother-in-law actually also says the same thing. Don't forget to pray. Prayer is key. So yes, that is one of the things that I'm going to be passing on to my daughter, knowing that whatever it is that you're handling, going through, you can always turn to God. The second one is the love of family. If you know me very well, you'd know how close the kind of relationship I have with my siblings. It's not what a lot of people share. I've come to realize that. And it is something that is very, very dear to me. The way I love my siblings, the way my siblings love me. I don't even think that my parents know the extent to how close my siblings and I are. This is people that they raised. That there were times when growing up, something would happen and my mom will ask you, have you told your sister? Don't forget to tell your sister. Like, she just had a way of bringing us together. Or when she would say, sisters don't fight. Sisters don't fight. It bonded our relationship. They gave us the opportunity to build that relationship outside of just, I have a sister somewhere. And there's this question I asked my siblings one time. I asked them that, do you think that we would be friends if we were not siblings? Like, if I just met you on the road with your personality and everything that you are, do you think that we would be close? Do you think that we will be friends? And it was a thought-provoking question because, yeah, we have this amazing relationship. And I think it's not just because we are related by blood, because we have learned to understand and grow and depend on each other. If you ask my husband anything about me, I'm sure he would always like talk about how close I am to my siblings and to my family. And so that is something I am also going to pass on to my daughter, in the sense that there is love at home. I also want her to have that safety net, that thought at the back of her mind that east or west, wherever you may go, home is the best. I want to be able to build a family and a relationship with her where she's not ashamed to come home. There are things that I would do, and you would go and tell my parents that I saw it while doing this, and they will tell you, I know. We know, we are very aware. That is the kind of home I grew up in. The home where I can be myself. I can I can express myself. I can say what I want to say when I'm talking to my family. And that is something that I hope to be able to pass on to my daughter, where she is secured in who she is in the family, where she doesn't need to pretend to be somebody that she's not. If it's time to pray, if it's time to, dance or laugh or crack jokes, I can always do that in my house, like with my parents, with my family. That is the kind of home I grew up in, and that is something that I also want to pass on to my child. Number three, the next one I'm going to be sharing with us is contentment, not comparison. I have a lot of siblings. And not once did I ever hear my parents say, "Can't you be more like your sister?" I don't think I've ever heard them. And to add to that, I think the next tip I'm going to be sharing, they kind of go hand in hand, and that is exploring my abilities. So my parents were able to see us as individuals, and in their own way, they were able to help us develop and explore our abilities to the best of their knowledge. So we are very, very individualistic. When you come across myself and my siblings, you can always tell how different we are. Sometimes it can be funny because we all grew up in the same house with the same parents, but we have our unique behaviors and personalities. We are totally different in almost everything. The way we talk, the way we think, our likes, our dislikes. Of course, there'll be some overlapping factors here and there. Of course, we are siblings, so there's that DNA part of it. But our uniqueness was celebrated by our parents. They never for once forced me to be like my sister or forced my sister to be like me. And that is something that I also want to pass on to my kid. For her to be contented in who she is, not to compare her with somebody else, and also give her the opportunity to explore her abilities. Just to mention a few, there was a time when I wanted to be a writer, and then I'll write some things down on paper, and then my dad would take it to his place of work, and then he would come back and he would take it to his place of work and print it out, and then I will have like a printed copy of that. Or when I was into music, singing in the choir and things like that, I'm still in the choir. My mom will drive me to church, or my dad will drive me to church, or they will allow me to sleep in when I have like really intense rehearsals, or buying me CDs of artists and musicians that I like. And it was not just me, it was the same way that it supported my siblings. And I am very grateful for that. And I think that it is something that every body should experience. And that is something that I hope I'm able to pass on to my daughter. I think it is very important as parents that we are able to discover or groom our children's abilities, and then help them to the best of our abilities, of course, to be able to get to a certain level or get to a certain stage of expression when as regards their talent that God has given them. They always say that the way you parent your child is a reflection of the way you parented you. So you can either do exactly opposite if you are not comfortable with the way you were parented, or you do exactly the same thing that your parents did if you were very 100% happy with the way your parents treated you. I know that for a lot of us millennials, we're like, no, our parents were too strict, and that doesn't mean we should swing the pendulum to the other, to the extreme end. I would encourage us to be able to find those things that our parents did right. I don't think that 100% of parents are 100% wrong. This is not to excuse bad parenting or abusive parenting. Of course not. But parenting is a calling, and it is something I always say, it is a calling. You have to be ready to devote and sacrifice yourself. Like, you have to die to yourself to be able to parent your child well and put their needs above yours. It's like the ultimate love. And so, yeah, so those are the 4 tips that I'm going to be sharing with us. Let me know if any one of these resonates with you. Let me also know if you have tips that you would like to share. I am super happy to be back, and I hope that it stays this way. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's quite short. Yes, I know. I'm just like, finding my way small. That's all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.